The world of Azaray is a place of wonder, where huge continents of rock and land float in the sky above a sea of storms, held aloft by the gods that embody them, where fish the size of whales sail the skies alongside mechanical death machines, where magic is a way of life. And to be Azarayan means to bear witness to such wonders. But wonder and beauty can hold hidden dangers. Magic can be spontaneous and dangerous in the wrong hands. To regulate the use of magic, many nations rely on the Crescentkeep Combine, an organization of knights, wizards, and bureaucrats. The protective force of the Combine are called the Keepers. These elite bands of warriors are trained to hunt down rogue mages and protect the citizenry. Deep in the southern reaches of Durland, a no-man's land of snow and monsters, there are reports of demons ransacking a small outpost where a Combine wizard named Hadalax made his research. The Combine's leader, Grand Magistrate Matria Ulanor, has sent a team into the southern reaches to investigate. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dice at Dawn, the only tabletop podcast that will pass down its recordings and episode files to the next generation for thousands and thousands of years. I'm your host, C.W. Drescher, and here with me today we have John Malari playing Vildar Darisk. Say hi, John.
Hello.
We have Six playing Auditor. Say hello, Six.
Hello?
We have Madison Reeves playing Karlas Dubarath. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did now. I didn't pick a pronunciation. Whatever works.
Oh, yeah.
And Morty Foster playing Bethe.
Hi, that's me.
Auditor is a wood elvish monk. Vildar is a orc. What is he?
Oh, half-orc.
He's a half-orc paladin.
Mm.
Karlas Dubarath is a Triton
Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight. And Mr. Morty is playing Bethe, a satyr cleric.
That's me. That's true.
So, let's get this show on the road. Vildar Darisk. You have Commander Vildar Darisk.
That's right.
To be more precise. You have brought your team to the rendezvous point on the cliffside of the outer reaches of the southern reaches. This rendezvous point, you are waiting for an esoteric monk who is going to be joining you guys, the Keepers, on your mission. Why don't you go ahead and describe yourself, Mr. Vildar?
Yeah. Vildar is like a half-orc. He's like 6 feet tall, green, like a grassy green skin and black hair parted down the middle. He's got like, the Combine armor. It's very like intricate, full plate. Got a big ass square shield like Centurions use, and like a tiny black mace, rounded. And he's good at his job and all. He gets the shit done, but he's not really super into the whole vibe, the whole Combine's philosophy, keeping the powers in check. It's important and all, but it's not like his passion exactly. He likes to hang out with his bros, make sure his pals are good, the vibe's in check. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Bethe, you are standing beside Vildar, and you're looking out over the southern reaches. You're standing on this kind of black cliff face, and you see down to this kind of this snowy outcropping that kind of forms this strip of land and a coast. It's fairly narrow along just the edge of Durland, and the land itself just has this steep, abrupt cut off into just this misty cloud. You guys are literally like a few miles away from the edge of the continent. It has a kind of savage beauty to it. Befe, why don't you describe yourself?
Befe is probably a foot shorter than her good friend Fildar over here.
Yeah.
She's this chubby satyr. She has kind of like really pinkish, almost purplish skin. She's got cloven, hoofed feet and hands with like fur that comes up to her knees and elbows. She is wearing kind of like a gothic Lolita style dress with like a big puffy skirt and like a sweetheart neckline. It's blue with silver ribbons and ruffles and designs, and it's got sleeves as well that kind of like start just below her shoulder. She's wearing a bonnet on her head, and like stuffed in between the bonnet and her hair are a bunch of poppies and dried herbs, and there is a little crow, or a raven, sorry, that kind of peeks his head out and looks at whoever is talking to her with, there is an emotion there. She has a...
With interest?
Yeah, interest. She has a long, dark gray cloak with the Crescentkeep Combine symbol on the back, and she carries a giant oar. It's taller than herself. It looks really old. The wood is green with like water damage, and she's got ribbons with dried herbs tucked in them tied around the top of the handle and the bottom of the handle, and it's kind of engraved. She is really good at her job. She's pretty dedicated to it. She's nice to all her coworkers and gets along with them all pretty well. Yeah, that's her.
All right. And not too far from you, I imagine that Carlos is pretty bored, but Madison, why don't you go ahead and introduce Mr. Carl here?
Carl's probably, much like his master, gets easily distracted by things that move a little bit. He sees a little fly, and now he's just kind of like following it around with his eyes.
Well, there's no flies, really, at this altitude. Snowflakes, perhaps.
He's probably, like, anytime a large snowflake goes by, he's like, oh, and then he just sort of, like, follows it for a while. He's actually very easily entertained. Because, you know, there's not a whole lot going on, you know, up top, but there's kind of a lot going down on the rest of him. He's a triton. He reminds you of sort of like a very muscular crab. Big shoulders in the top, and, you know, he's got like a bald head, and it's got like this blue speckled crab pattern, little yellow eyes following the snowflakes, and little fins in the ears to turn down. He's sort of got, like, his shoulders are very broad, and his back is almost rounded like a crab shell, and on top of it, he's got chainmail. And he's got two weapons. One of them is the official Crescentkeep Combine halberd, and another one is a great axe that looks like it's been cobbled together from old, what maybe is like scraps of armor a little bit. He brought that with him. But he's entertaining himself just fine, I think.
Okay.
All right. So, what are you guys doing, like, kind of collectively as you wait at this rendezvous point? We'll get to you in a second, Six.
I start
of
snapping
course.
my fingers at Carl and be like, Carl, bud, stay with me here. Pay attention.
No, wait, no, did you see that one? It's really big.
Yeah,
no, look,
so-
I've never seen a
yeah.
snowflake that big. Or that
Yeah,
one.
the big bastard. Look. Forget the snowflakes for a
Yeah.
sec, man.
What else is there to look at?
We're supposed to be finding a guy soon, right? Like one of these monk types. I wasn't listening. Does anyone remember?
Yeah, it's an esoteric monk.
All right.
And should be here soon, I think. I've
Okay.
been keeping an eye out.
Do you know?
I am-
Do you know what these monk guys are like? Like, are they cool? Are they chill? Can they hang?
You've probably
Well, I hope
met some
so.
before.
Yeah. Are they cool?
They're pretty diverse.
Oh, hell
Your
yeah.
interactions with them have been pretty diverse. They usually kind of dress the same though. At least the watchers do. You're waiting on a watcher, the specific kind of esoteric monk that you're waiting for. They wear different colored robes depending on like what temple they're from, but usually it's about the same cut. This kind of loose around the shoulders, tight around the waist, kind of gi. And basically all of them wear a this kind of stone wristband that has it has these four kind of yin yang-esque droplets that connect to each other. One is red, one is orange, one is green, and then one is blue. And they represent the four forces of the universe.
Oh, sweet.
But as you guys have been like kind of looking out for this person, you can actually see where you think you might have to go. There's this really tiny kind of like black tower that's way, way far out. You can only just barely see it, but you're pretty sure that's where you're supposed to be heading.
Well, I've never seen a black snowflake before, and it's not moving either.
Carl, no, that's a tower. It's just far away, man.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So things get smaller when they're far away.
It's true.
Really?
They
Not
do get
really.
smaller.
Well, not really. They look like they are.
As you guys are having this conversation, Bethe, you look behind you and you can see a figure approaching you. Six, if you could go ahead and describe your character.
Yeah, so Auditor is cresting over the horizon. Kind of wearing...
along this mountain path.
Yeah, wearing, of course, their esoteric monkly garbs. They look a little, roughed up, so to say. A little dirty. They don't look exactly like the cleanest folk. They're a wood elf. They are 6'1", exactly 1 inch taller than your tallest member.
Fuck.
I don't know how that happened, but
Damn it. Shit.
they have this sort of dirty brownish hair resembling that of perhaps the oak of a tree. As they continue kind of skipping along the path, and you can kind of hear them almost, and you can hear me like, I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca Road when along came a semi with high and canvassing covered load. And they're singing a song as they're coming up to you. They appear to be singing a little travel song.
Alright, I'll turn towards my group and be like, yo, is that them? Is that who we're looking for?
As they're approaching, Buffet comes up kind of in front of everybody and sticks out her hand to shake and says, "Well, aren't you chipper?"
They glance down at the hand and they pull their hand out from their robes and they wiggle it once to twice and then clap their hand against yours and give it a firm shake. Oh, you know, Chipperness is my middle name. My first name, of course, being Auditor. How do you do?
I'm doing quite swell.
Oh, I didn't know that was your middle.
Good to know.
It's a little chilly.
So you must be the leader, yes? I look at Buffet.
Nah.
Am I?
No, dude.
I don't think I am.
Are
No,
you?
Phildar is your command.
Yeah, that's me. And then
Okay.
I walk up and push Beffy out the way. Hey, how you
I
doing?
look at Phildar, and you can just very, very
What's
briefly see this little look of that. This is it, as they just kind of offer a smile and shake your hand. Good to meet you, Commander.
Yeah, that's me, Commander Fildar. You must be that person we're looking for. You already met Buffet. She's kind of my right hand. Real dependable type.
Buffet knows.
You come to her.
And your left, too, I imagine. They do a mock shadow box.
Yeah, sometimes. And this here's Carl. He's cool too.
Hey,
They alive?
I think so. Last time I checked.
I would hope so.
Buddy, what'd I say? No, oh, sorry. No snowflakes this time of year, you know?
Buffet nods.
All right. So now that introductions are out of the way, are you guys heading down the mountain?
Sure.
All right.
We are walking. We are going.
So this mountain pass is very narrow. There's several points at which you kind of have to where like you have to walk single file, and then there's a point at which you have to start moving like with your backs to the wall, and just kind of like shimmy across, and it is a long drop. The southern reaches are on they sit right behind the valley lands, and the valley lands, which is probably where most of you are like from, or at least it's where you trained before the Crescentkeep Combine is. It is all of these really treacherous mountains and dozens of valleys, both large and small, that kind of pocket these hostile mountains. And the southern reaches are kind of just like the end of that cliff, and are basically close to the Antarctic Circle, or at least Azaray's equivalent to an Antarctic Circle.
Yes.
Chilly up here. You think they'll have a good tavern located somewhere nearby?
They usually
hope
do.
so.
Yeah. You do a lot of drinking
Buffet.
there? What was it? Auditor?
Oh, when I can. Which is all the time, really.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
And reach out for a fist bump.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll hit that.
Yeah. So it's nice of you monk guys to help us out. I mean, not that we need it. 3 of us. Usually pretty cool, pretty good at getting the job done, but appreciated nonetheless.
Oh, of course. The monks always love to put their nose in your guys' business. What else are we supposed to do half the time?
Well, I didn't say all that, but thanks.
Well, something that both of you would probably know, and this is more for our audience's sake.
Yeah.
The esoteric monks, their thing is they hunt extraplanar entities that shouldn't be here. So whether that's in this case demons or fiends, devils, fey creatures, mimir, anything that doesn't really belong on this plane. And that even includes from time to time angels. Yeah, so it kind of makes sense that the esoterics would be working with you on this particular quest. In fact, it was at Matria Ulinor's, your boss. It was at her behest. But anyway, as you are flying, or as you are coming down the mountain, Befe, you see something flying at you. It doesn't really look like a bird.
Can I duck?
It's still a little bit of a ways away, but it just doesn't really have the right shape.
Does anybody know what that is?
Oh.
She points it out to everybody.
Oh. Let me use my special eyes.
Anybody who's looking at it, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
I hold-
this is gonna be great.
I hold my fucking fingers up to my eyes in like little circles, and I kind of like zoom them in. I got the eye binocular thing going on.
Ooh.
I got an
Sorry, the
18.
hand binocular.
I rolled a 3.
I got
An
15.
Was
Yeah,
that
I got an 18.
I got
And I got
5.
15.
Sorry. So what you see is kind of this round shape with bat-like wings flying at you. Do you want to make me a religion check?
Yes, I will do that. I got a 9.
9.
Yeah, you have no idea what this is. Fucking weird looking though.
I described it to the best of my ability to my party members.
And I'm like, does anybody know anything that kind of fits that description?
Maybe it's like a fat bat.
A fat. Wait.
Yeah, you're not
And
supposed to feed
as
him
you
bread,
guys are
but
looking at
people do.
this, you hear this horrible crowing noise.
Yeah?
That noise was so
How are
horrible
you?
it cut out.
You like
How far away
you're so
is
loud
it?
you clipped it.
Yeah.
And this black figure emerges from underneath the path. I'd
Hello.
like you all to roll initiative.
Oh,
That was
that's
Yeah,
fast.
quick.
sure.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So then it's after Madison, it is the talking heads. And then that only leaves Morty. No. John and then Morty. So first, this horrible like bird creature with like these humongous raven wings flies into the air, and around it swarm these horrible bloated heads. They're like draining pus and weird liquid from their mouths as the bat wings on either side of their heads fly them in the air, and these long tendril-like tongues kind of trail behind them out of their mouths.
These
All right.
guys are disgusting.
They're pretty gross. We're gonna start with 6, and then it will be the bird thing's turn, and then it will be
Alright.
the bird. By the way, is about 10 feet in the air above the path, and then it'll be the flying heads, and then John, and then Morty. As the horrible crow vulture monster loomed over them, spilling feathers into the cold, frosty air, twitching its warty, misshapen head, the monk, Auditor, was the first to fling themselves into battle. They ran deftly between the flying heads, around the sea curve of the mountain pass, and then up the cliff wall. They spun in the air, above the vulture monster, and brought their sword down, slicing it, still in the air, pummeled their fists into its side, attempting to stun it. While they fell to the ground, the creature remained unstunned, but he made a harsh gash down the side of the beast and broke several ribs. Auditor landed like a cat as the monster twisted in the air. The bird creature flew round the monk, around the rocky outcropping, and landed with a crash before Auditor. The monk kept on their toes, ready to dodge. The bird monster's beak snapped at the air around the shifty Auditor, but managed to rake its black claws up the monk's side in a splash of blood.
Oh, that's not good. You know, these monk robes aren't cheap.
Karlas Dubroth, the Triton fighter, charged 25 feet. and cast Green Flame Blade on his axe, White Claw, causing it to erupt in fire. He drove his axe clean through the nearest flying head. As a magical axe sliced the creature in half, it arced with electricity. The gargoyle fell to the ground in 2 sloppy pieces.
Get that White Claw.
However, the keeper's work was hardly done. The swarm of half-rotten flying heads drew forward on the party. Flying towards them, one wrapped its tendril-like tongue around Beffe's neck, but she managed to put it away before whatever kind of disease or curse it had could find purchase. One snapped at the air before the party missed, and another shrieked, attempting to intimidate Auditor. It was unsuccessful, and decided to take off towards the rest of the party. Auditor took the opportunity to punch its rotting jaw free of its skull. It managed to stay in the air, though weakened. However, there were many more gargoyles still heading towards the party.
And stay out! I look towards the big corvid and I'm like, now where were we? I'm so sorry, darling. I promise I won't attack another one of them. It's just you and me, right?
Fildar, the half-orc paladin, used his action to cast Bless on himself, Beffe, and Carlas, a bright white light emitting from his chest, to grant the other keepers luck. Beffe pushed forward and casted Spirit Shroud. From the ground around her, wispy, mostly transparent little black spirits flowed like oil to form a dome around her. Rolling a critical hit, she drove her oar into one of the flying heads, and with a splatter of ooze, it simply disappeared. Beffe continued down the path, passing Carl and another flying head, which dug its teeth into her flesh as she passed and infected her with poison. The poison felt like acid, burning her as it coursed through her veins. Auditor swung their sword at the bird monster, who caught it between its sharp black talons. It screeched in the monk's face before Auditor kicked into the creature's ribs. There was a cracking of bone before Auditor twisted their fist into the bird's jaw. There's a small, hard-to-see flash of energy from Auditor's fist, and all of a sudden, the vulture thing was frozen in place. Stunned. The monk then swung around, their cloak billowing in the wind, to face the next flying head, as if to say, "You're next." Carlas drove forward and sliced off the jaw of the nearest flying head. Then, he pulled back and sliced off its wing. The creature hung in the air on one wing for a moment before Carlas embedded White Claw into the grotesque demon. The monster twitched for a few moments before its wing finally went slack, and with a clot of blood staining the axe, it slowly oozed from White Claw before falling down the cliffside. The flying heads began to retaliate, surrounding the keepers. One ripped into Beffe's flesh once more burning poison pumping through her veins. But one pressed its lips to Auditor's face before its rough green tongue, stinking of acidic poison, licked up their cheek. Auditor shivered as they felt a shadow pass over their soul. Though Auditor didn't realize it, they'd been infected with a malignant curse.
That was disgusting. You got anything else?
Yeah, that's gross.
These guys are nasty.
Bro, they're like not chill.
Fildar marched through a dead flying head, viscera now smearing on his boots, and brandished his short black mace. He swung and grazed the nearest flying head on the jaw. He swung again, this time connecting with its skull. There's a cracking of bone as its eye partially ejected from its socket, with a squelch of gross, grimy pus. Gruesome as it was, the creature didn't seem bothered. As the bat-winged severed head surrounded the keepers, out from around Beffe, shadowy forms reached from the ground, skinny, tendril-like, to tear the unholy abominations apart. Beffe selected one flying head and roared, casting Toll the Dead. Beneath her roar was the subtle, magical charm of wind chimes. chunks of the flying face blew off in the spell's impact. Odator skewered ahead on their sword, flung it off, then ran up the wall behind the vulture monster to pummel its back for extra damage. Odator then hopped down a narrower path down the cliff as the crow monster shook off its stun. It then flew upwards towards the keepers, away from Odator, hovering above the cliff face. It spread open its wings with great force and covered the keepers in dank, glue-smelling spores. Bethe and Fildar only sneezed, but Karlas drew in a deep breath of the spores and became poisoned. In retaliation, Karlas cast Lightning Lure, and an arc of electricity connected to the bird. The bird pulled hard against the magical force and snapped free in a blast of blue light. Karl then twisted around Bethe to slice one of the flying heads in half. A flying head swung around Karl and then bit into his neck, as if in vengeance for its fallen comrade. Odator slapped the next flying head gunning for them into the wall, as Fildar accidentally hit Bethe with his mace.
Oh shit.
Phil!
Oh fuck, I'm sorry, B. Oh, I was aiming for the guy. You okay? Oh, that looks bad. Are you okay? Shit.
I've already been hit enough.
Enraged by his mistake, he deftly swatted the nearest flying head out of the sky and down the mountainside. Bethe zapped the bird monster with a deep blue guiding bolt right into the sword wound on its chest. Odator slashed apart another head before they hopped down the path and waited for more prey to come by. The bird monster attacked with its beak, nearly tearing off a chunk of Karl's heavy armor before it slashed into his belly with his talons. Karl swung back, slicing over and over again into the bird monster. As if hacking into a tree, Karl's white claw swiped through the monster's leg and cleaved it from its body, earning a horrid screech from the creature. The flying head on Karl's neck lunged back for another attack. Fildar tried to get between the demon and his comrade, but to no avail, as the monster went in for another bite to rip apart the flesh of Karl's neck. Fildar's hands lit up with pure white light and magically healed Karl's wounds. The crow vulture hung weakly in the air, barely keeping itself aloft as it oozed strange blood-like ichor from its countless wounds. Bethe stepped forward, ready to send the thing back where it came from. How do you want to do this, Mr. Morty?
You did?
So this thing is kind of flapping around near us weakly, and it swings its gigantic head over towards Bethe, and Bethe's tired. Her hair is kind of messed up. She's got some rips in her clothes. She just takes it doesn't look very strong, this swing. It's very limp and weak. And as soon as her fist hits, it just stops moving and falls down the cliff.
So, as you just kind of go in for a punch, those black spirits begin to form around your hand and hit the rock right in the head, and you see all of the spirits kind of sink into its head and pop out of its eye holes, then its nose holes,
Oh,
and
that's
then
sick.
its mouth,
I wave to them
before
goodbye as it falls.
retracting back in, and the eyes of the rock just go lifeless as it falls soundlessly down into...
Well, not soundlessly. It's right near the edge of the cliff. It probably bashes against it a couple times on the way down.
No, it just
That's fun.
it drops kind of straight, and by the time that it hits like the rock, it's so far away. It's just kind of like a wet slap.
You guys look over at Auditor. I suppose there's still this bitch right here we gotta kill.
There's
Yeah.
one more. There's one more
guy.
gargoyle. But you hit the boss creature, I guess. So
I killed it.
Put a big red X on that
fucking
bitch!
killed it. I'm putting a big red X on that bitch.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. It's the end of Morty's turn. 6, you're up.
Pass. I passed my turn.
Pass?
Yes.
Oh, you're just gonna stand there?
Yeah, actually, well, I'm not. I'm sitting on the ground, and I appear to be making tea.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, you've begun making tea. Very monk-esque. Well, it was the Vrock's turn. Not anymore. Madison, you're up.
I'm gonna look at the other two and invite them if they want to take a go. Anyone else?
It kind of screeches at you.
I say, okay,
Minute.
wait, yeah,
No,
well, hold
dude,
on. I have
I'm-
to extend the courtesy, see if anyone else wants to do anything.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm
done.
good. You, that's all you.
Okay.
Man.
Do. 25, 23,
That hits.
11, and...
hits. That misses.
What is that? Numbers. 18.
3 hits and a miss. How do you want to do this, Madison?
Let me roll for damage just because I find it
well,
fun.
actually, yeah, you do have to roll for damage because if you... Alright, go ahead. Because this guy is actually untouched at the moment.
Okay. Well, that's 15, 17, and 10. So, I don't know. Does that kill him?
Yeah, how do you want to do this, Madison?
Hate to reinvent the wheel, do something else again, but I think I'd just like to crack him down the middle. I think I'm just into that.
Just go with the classics.
Maybe I do like because it's 3, like 1 up to cut off one wing, 1 down to cut off the second wing, and then the third one up to get the skull.
You actually, with the first attack, you rolled 17 on the first attack, correct?
Probably. I don't remember.
That would kill him in one blow.
All right. Well, then I kill him, and then I kill him a little bit more.
Yeah, I think what if you may let me put my own spin on this. I think you just slice it right in half, and then as it's still kind of hanging in the air, like you know how a basketball kind of when it gets to its arc, it kind of hangs in the air for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like kind of hanging in the air before it slaps down, and then you chop it like right down the middle, quartering it. And then, like, with the blunt side of your spear, you just hit the pieces, like, against the wall, and it splatters across the rock.
Very nice.
Pretty gnarly.
Pretty gnarly.
That was a little excessive, but sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crushed it, man. Hell yeah.
We should... Say high five.
Yeah.
Go team.
Go tea, more like.
Oh,
'Cause
right.
Yeah.
The monk over there is making tea. Are you making enough tea for everyone?
I mean, do they want any?
I would like some tea.
Sure.
Oh, you want
Oh,
some
you
tea,
making some
huh?
tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you want some tea, just ask.
She-
And I
she
pull
holds
out a
her
massive fucking bottle of scotch and I pour it into my cup. And I put it back into my robes as I just down that shit.
It's difficult to get like a fire going in this wind, but eventually you manage to start a little fire, and it takes a bit, but you manage to make some tea for you and your party members.
Yeah.
We are all drinking tea. Also,
It's got a little spice in it, I wink.
Pepe nods, gives him a thumbs up.
It's poison.
Also, Marty?
Oh,
Vildar, can you heal me?
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Right,
Can
I hit
we
you.
take this time to
Yeah.
have
I
a
smacked you
you
with it,
step on my tea set, you slut? But can we take this time to have a short rest?
You may.
All right.
Sweet.
I'm going to
I
spend.
forget.
Yeah, everyone, let's take a half hour.
You don't get a spell slot when you...
Say that again.
Spell slot replenish...
You do not get
Short
spell
rest,
slots back
yes
on
or
a
no?
short rest.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Not
Thank
clerics. Warlocks do. And I think wizards.
Wizards can gain up to half their level plus their intelligence modifier spell slots.
Warlocks, my beloved.
They're kind of fucking silly, but I get all my key points on a short
That is
rest,
silly.
and I use.
I really want to play a wizard. I really want
They're
to.
silly.
Me too.
I'm going to use a third hit dice because we have 10. I'm gonna.
How much did you heal me for, John?
Let me give you 20.
20. Okay.
Yes.
That
All right.
helps a lot. Thank you, sir.
I'm pretty good now.
You're very welcome.
I'm gonna use some of my hit dice as well.
May I
think
suggest? I think that this would be potentially a good opportunity for a bonding scene. If anybody would like to attempt one.
I would love
Yeah.
to attempt a bonding scene.
that would be fun.
All right, go ahead, Six.
Good work out there, guys. Real stand-up show.
Thanks.
Bonding scene is with one person.
I know.
so,
I'm
like,
just
you
I'm trying to make it happen naturally, Connor.
Go ahead. I'm just reminding you.
They just kind of generally motion everybody. What's your deal? But by the way, though, and I kind of just point directly at Morty's character, whose name I forgot. How did I forget it? Bethe, right? You got quite the, and then I kind of like flex my muscles a little bit of a hua.
So she folds her hands on her dress, and just starts listing off her entire backstory. Tells you that she came from this group of satyrs, and they rode ships a lot in the sky sea, and got shipwrecked. Was stuck there for a while, got rescued by this group of clerics, and now she became a cleric because of that, and then later joined the Crescentkeep Combine.
I feel like you skipped a step. I can understand being a cleric, but join the Combine, that's a commitment.
Yeah, didn't have much better to do.
Yeah. There's so many people in the esoteric monk order where their reasoning for joining a literal extra-planar cop force is, I was bored one day, really. Bored. Sniffs deeply. It's an aftermath of a laugh.
It's been pretty fun. I didn't really have many friends before I joined, but now I've got these guys. And she puts her arms around Phil and Carl.
Oh, thanks.
So, what about you? What's your deal?
My deal? Well, I'm a monk. Esoteric variety. And they kind of like look off to the side. I joined the monk order because got nothing better to do, I suppose, and they kind of give a very painful smile.
Looks like we've got things in common.
Well, we're speaking the same language, that's one thing. Get it?
She knows.
Common.
She laughs at that.
Takes a big sip of their tea. Oh, yeah, that hits the spot.
It's pretty good tea. What blend do you use?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a lot of alcohol.
That'll do it.
It's very boozy.
Booze is
She's
not
been
good in
sipping
tea. It's not like it's like there's Irish coffee and that's one thing, but tea is not a mixer. Like it doesn't cover up any flavor.
No, it simply does not. It just tastes like alcohol.
Yeah.
maybe there's an herby. Is it good whiskey or bad whiskey?
It's good whiskey.
All right, so it's not terrible. Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Could be a fucking White Claw.
Oh god.
As we've seen, White Claw kills.
Yeah. Stop drinking White Claws. You'll
Taking
see
many
what it
lives.
does.
Oh, I think I saw enough of it. I'm so glad that I softened that bird up for you guys. You made short work of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
killed it out there, man. Running on walls,
You're-
flips and shit.
You're
Eh.
pretty skilled. I admire that.
Why,
Yeah,
thank
the
you.
White Claw is still like sticky with blood.
Nice.
I
Hacked off its leg.
learned my my monk ways from somebody very important to me. They were a drunk bastard for sure, but they were a bastard who was also happenstancely a good teacher. Now look at me, a drunk bastard. Cheers to that! Hell yeah!
Yeah, slurp, slurp, slurp.
She raises her cup and takes. I guess some things just carry over like that.
Yeah, like a disease. I thought I was through with those. Being a monk and all, you eventually just stop having diseases. Did you know that?
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like 10th level or something.
Well, I'm sure you must be around there.
Yeah,
You're pretty
yeah,
skilled.
around there.
Well, I think by now the tea is cold.
Just like my ex-wife's dead heart.
Is that in character?
Huh?
Is that in character?
I mean, yes. Yes.
Good.
Oh. I'm sorry, man.
What?
That sucks. Sorry about your wife.
Who?
Faye raises
I'm gay.
her glass.
I don't know who the hell you're talking to. And I get up and I start walking away.
They're quite a character. Yeah.
Yeah,
110
pretty
feet, bitch.
I get it.
When you guys aren't looking at me, I take the dash action. I've already got 110 feet on you.
fun. Beth is taking her sweet time walking up the hill.
Yeah, me too. I feel no
So-
sense of
Fat, short
urgency.
little legs.
Would you guys say that was a bonding scene in between
Yeah, absolutely.
Auditor?
Yeah.
Well, all right. So the
I
thing,
guess.
Auditor,
Oh.
it definitely
I
has
have
to be
to-
kind of like this mutual connection that's going on.
Well, it's just the first bonus. I imagine that it needs to be more and more bonding-esque the further down the chain you get.
I know. Yeah, I'll say it's a bonding scene. You have one bond with Beffe. Beffe, you have one bond.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually,
Anyway, so you guys are heading down the mountain, and you see way out in the distance. Well, it's much closer now. You see that black tower, and you see this kind of ruined village. Like you can tell that it's a very small village, the village of Mountain Foot, which is where you were heading. You can see like you can just kind of make out that the silhouettes of the buildings are not the way they should be. There's no smoke at the moment, but the tower seems to be relatively untouched.
Oh, am I familiar with this big black tower at all? Or have I heard of it even?
Yes, Matria Ulanor probably told you what to look for.
Right.
That is Hadalax's tower.
Hadalax. Who is this?
Hadalax is a wizard doing
Bastard.
research for the Combine.
Oh.
That's all that the Grand Magistrate told you.
Hmm.
He
You're not allowed to go on, but okay.
he she basically told you, you know what? You want to have an in media res moment, a little flashback.
Yeah. Oh, I'm remembering. Oh God, the fact.
So the commander is sitting in Machir Ulinor's office. You haven't been in her office before. It's kind of a great honor. Usually commanders aren't brought right up there, but this seems to be a serious matter. It's not a humongous room, but big for an office with these ridiculously high ceiling, and behind her you can see the small village that the valley that the Crescentkeep resides in the Castell Valley. You can see this broad expanse. Only a few clouds in the sky. The sunshine coming down on the green fields and golden wheat fields. And you also see a teleportation circle that is off to the right. She just explained to you what you're here to do, to investigate why these demons are happening and go check on Hadalax, make sure he's okay.
Does Hadalax have some sort of demonic activity? What's he up to that might make you think there's demons around?
He's a conjurer. He does occasionally dabble in fiendish material.
Okay, but if he's working with us, is that allowed?
His research is, of course, monitored by us and allowed.
I hear you.
He's one of the more talented conjuration mages at our disposal. He didn't have a personality for teaching, so he does research.
Well, cool. He sounds important. Sounds like a cool guy. I'll check up on him. Don't you worry, boss.
So conjuration conjures all kinds of things. Mage Hand is a conjuration cantrip. So it's not necessarily bringing beings from other realms through, but it can be that.
Nice.
I fear that the esoteric monks may have an issue with some of his studies, but that's not their authority to decide.
Oh, they're not into it? It sounds really cool.
Yeah, she doesn't laugh. She's just kind of staring at you. She's this. She is half elvish. She's half wood elf, so this kind of dusky skin, and just a very serious expression. You've never seen her smile. You don't know anybody who's ever seen her smile. She has this broad wizard hat on that she wears even indoors in the comfort of her own office, and her hands are just neatly folded in front of you. You, of course, are standing. Any other questions, Commander?
No, I think that's all I need to get this thing nipped in the bud. Thanks for informing me, debriefing me. Thanks for having me in your digs. Pretty nice. Ceiling's a little too high, but probably good for acoustics.
Get out of here, Commander.
Yes, sir.
All right, flash forward back to the present, and you kind of have that flashback in your mind.
I wonder if she's in a band or something. She looks like she could rock a lute or a lyre. Yeah, that'd be dope. And with that echo, oh man, the reverb would be off. Hey, where were we? Oh shit!
You guys are approaching the village. So basically, you have an option of going and investigating the town first, or going and hitting up Hadalax's tower?
Yeah, I think Buffet would probably be like, should we check if there's any like townsfolk that need help around here?
Yeah?
Yep, probably a good idea. That's well within procedure for how we do these things. Yeah, let's get the word around. Hey, you can go to the tavern. I know Auditoro really wanted to see about that.
Auditor.
That's right.
Looks directly at you.
Sorry.
So, yeah, you guys kind of descend down the mountain trail and past the tower. It is dead silent. There's like a thick, it's dead quiet, and there's this thick layer of snow on the ground, and most of the buildings are completely ruined. Most of them seem like they were on fire at some point before the fire was doused with snow, with natural snowfall. In the streets, you can see a few people without their heads. It seems less like their heads were sawed off, and more like their heads were pulled off.
Are there like
Yeah, so you might be able to deduce that that's where the gargoyles happened. Oh wait, shit! I forgot. 6.
Yes.
Over the hour of the over the course of that short rest from earlier, you weren't as witty as like you ordinarily are. You felt a little bit strange towards the end of that hour, and you lose 1 point of charisma.
Is this a disease?
No.
Is this a curse?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I'm not necessarily sure if you know that. And then as you kind of hit Mountainfoot, which is another hour, you lose another point of charisma.
Oh my god.
Do any of
sapping your
you
swag.
guys have any like curse removal?
I have dispel magic.
Well, I need to dispel curse, right?
I could prepare it, theoretically. But I'd need a new day or a long rest.
how time
I think,
sensitive is
the
this
cleric
mission?
would also be able to do it.
Yeah, I'd probably be able to prepare it. I would, actually.
Well, this
For sure.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Is
Like,
it
how
like
can
a
I just
feeling,
turn off
or
my exuberant charisma?
is part of it like maybe the first part is like a feeling, and then the next part is like his face gets like somehow a little bit repulsive all of a sudden? Because charisma is both internal and external.
Oh my god.
Could
I
we
got a
pick
big
up on
fucking
it?
gross welt on my face.
Yeah, actually, if that's the way you want to play it, I did describe these guys as covered in boils. So, if you want like this horrible like pus-filled boil on your face, I don't know. That seems a little mean to people with boils.
It doesn't even have to be like a particular thing. Just you look at him and somehow, in some way, when
Just
someone
like
looks at him,
a
it's just kind of
magical
weird.
disgust.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The area in which I was licked has erupted in a terrible, disgusting rash where my skin is peeling.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's like right on the side of your face. It's like the world's most terrifying cold sore that is like spread across your face.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that about the time you hit town. But as you get to town, all the buildings are almost completely destroyed. And you can kind of hear like scurrying, like back and forth. every now and again.
Can I make a perception
And-
check on that?
You may. Go ahead.
I got a 19. Or wait, actually, I didn't add my bonuses to that. Hold on.
Oh, a natural 19.
Yeah, natural 19. I got a... Oh, a lot. Whatever 19 plus 8 is.
27.
Okay. Wow. So, the scurrying figure, you see, it is a green-skinned creature with these big, almost bug-like eyes, and these curving horns behind it, and it is wrapping itself up in what looks to be like a stolen fur coat that has come out of one of these buildings. And it's like torn in places. And you can see these guys are kind of littering the buildings. They're just kind of picking through the buildings and taking what they want. It's jittery. It kind of like twitches back and forth and like hops from building to building. And it kind of like looks at you with like disgust and then it hops.
I
To and
tell
fro.
my party members as discreetly as I can.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys have
relay
noticed
the
these.
information. Yeah.
Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure it's a creature called a quasit.
Yeah! Sorry, I love these guys.
Okay. Yeah.
They are occasionally used by warlocks as familiars. Your last mission with the commander actually involved a warlock, and he had a quasit familiar.
So we know what those guys are.
Yes, quasits. Fucked up little things, aren't they? Running around pillaging
yeah.
things. If you want to go through all the
Does this
trouble of
mean-
killing them, we certainly can, but...
There's like dozens of them.
Yeah.
I think quasits can speak.
That's fucked up.
Hey, Bugface! I call out to them.
Hey, do shit. Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, they can speak. Roll a persuasion check.
What am I persuading?
You just roll a persuasion check.
Alright. 10?
10. So are you like approaching one or what?
I'm just calling out to them to get their attention.
Hey, you call out to one and you get its attention. It starts kind of like hopping towards you, like expecting you with its weird eyes, kind of twitches back and forth.
Yo, what's up?
Kind of pulls its blanket closer to you, or closer to itself.
Hey, what's going on? Is there any demons around here you heard of?
Its hand kind of ducks underneath the blanket, and then suddenly, what's your AC?
17.
Nice. Yeah, right in the face.
Oh.
This stinky brown goop hits you, and it's like, "Hey, fuck you!" And then it like flips you off and runs away. As you realize that it just threw shit in your face,
Oh my god.
like some kind of horrible.
Ew.
Okay. It simply doesn't. I have deflect missiles.
Yeah, you
Shit is a missile.
Shit missile.
you like kind of catch it with your hand.
No, I am just simply going to swat it out of the air with the, with my sword. Just with the back of my sword, and then I'm gonna wipe it off in the snow.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That works. Splat. Yeah, it just threw shit in your face.
Well, look at these guys. All very, very fun. Hey, we're gonna kill all of you now. Right, guys? We're gonna kill all of them, right?
There's a lot of them.
I mean, it is what I'm hired for,
In
killing
the
stuff.
tower first.
No, go ahead. I insist we should kill all of them, right? Isn't that what we're here for?
Killing is the only thing on my resume.
It's also what you're good at, and I am always a fan of doing what we're good at.
I am really good at it.
Well, you guys could go through a incredibly boring combat encounter
For the next 3 hours.
where you just kill off like 25 closets. Or we could do a skill challenge. So all of you would take a skill that you're proficient in and use it to help the part.
Let's do that.
See
I
how
don't.
many you guys can kill.
I don't want to do
Montage.
that. In combat. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's avoid that if possible.
I'm good at perception and insight. Like really good at those.
You could
I'm
find
also,
them.
also pretty good at athletics. I could point them out to everybody. I guess if they're like trying to sneak up on us.
I could use intimidation if anyone else doesn't have that, and just try and like startle them into
I'll
submission.
I'll use acrobatics.
I got athletics as my highest one.
Nice.
Acrobatics to do what exactly, 6?
Well, I'm a monk. Probably gonna jump around, do some monk things.
Jump around and like try to get into position?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they could like wrangle them up.
Oh,
real
to like
quick.
wrangle them,
Or just grab them if they're like that pathetic.
yeah, acrobatics would work. Because this is also kind of like a combat thing. Madison, do you know what you're doing?
Is it terribly unoriginal if I just start swinging White Claw with my +8 in athletics?
I think that's plenty
You're
original.
a
That's
you're a
fine.
lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on
You
that.
guys are finding them, pointing them out,
I'm
wrangling them, and I'm just swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
Let's start with Morty. Go ahead and make your perception check.
I got a 22.
A 22. Yeah, I'll consider that a success. No Quasit can be spared from your penetrating gaze as you just spot them. Like, there's one over there, one over there, one over there. And, yeah, you were very helpful as you guys go through town. What were you doing, John?
I'll try to use
intimidating
I'll try to like get them startled since they can understand me, get them shaken. Maybe they'll slip up.
Yeah. You know what? I want to do 6. 6, you go ahead.
All
Go
right.
for it.
That's a 27. You got my DM, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and funny thing, Odor just disappears. Like,
What?
they hop up on top of a building and then behind one, and you don't see them again. Go ahead, John.
What the hell? Oh, did I notice that?
You did.
Oh, what? I'll try to startle the closets they are right.
Go ahead.
I'll be like, hey, you little shits. I don't know whatever warlock or fiend you're serving, but none of them can be as bad as my boy Carl here. He's gonna wreck you, gonna cleave you all.
Go ahead and roll.
Without a second thought. Why did I do 2? Alright, 13 plus 6 is 19 total.
So as you start, one of them like throws shit in your direction again, and you just dodge it like right out of the way. Like your face is like solid stone, and it kind of goes, eep, and then it runs off in the direction that you wanted it to be.
Miss me with that shit.
Madison.
All right. I do the one thing that I do best. Just take White Claw, start swinging.
Yeah. Show them. Just like I said.
Between all the intimidation, they're running from John and they're running from Buffet, and I'm just gonna start going at him. That is 25.
Hell yeah.
It takes a bit, but eventually there is just a scattering of beheaded closets throughout the town. You have
We did
just
it.
mowed them down. It like a scythe. You have just cut through, like a farmer with a scythe cutting through a wheat field. You have just, they're gone.
Sweet.
There are no more.
Yeah.
The town is silent once more.
Fuck.
However, something that you guys have noticed are, and you only find this because like you guys are doing all these activities. You find these crystal balls, about the size of two hands, scattered throughout the ruins.
This is strange.
Any of you guys recognize these things?
Can I make like a check about that? Would it be like
An
Arcana?
Arcana check, maybe?
Yeah.
Kinda sounds right.
I got an 11.
Crystal balls are used for a lot of different things in the arcane arts. They're used as a spellcasting focus. They primarily that's what they're used for. Divination wizards tend to favor them for their kind of scrying properties. But they're pretty multifaceted. They're also used in optics occasionally in like optical research, glass and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Is that just straight up science, like regular?
Yeah, like basically normal science, but in Azaray, science and magic kind of meet.
Can I make an
Because
As they should.
well, something that you guys would know is that magic mostly comes from an element called aether. Certain things kind of move through aether or harness aether or are conducive to aether in different ways. Aether is part energy, part mostly energy.
Can I make an Arcana
so
check?
yeah.
Cause I got a little background.
Oh yeah, he's more arcane,
Arcane.
Yeah.
intellectual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you can make a check.
Hey Carl, what do you think?
I
of
learned
this?
from a wizard.
Yeah.
18 total.
Sweet.
18. Wow. Yeah. Orbs like these are occasionally used as basically as a way to like keep an eye on something. So kind of like your character would know them as movie cameras. They can act as kind of a movie camera capturing something.
All right. I say something like
6. You can show up whenever you want.
Oh, don't worry. I planned on it. I'm looking over John's character's shoulder as we speak. I have been this entire time. What are you doing with that?
Like, looking at. Oh fuck! Where the hell did you go?
What do you mean, where the hell did I go?
Drop
I've been
it
here the
right
whole
on,
time.
You drop it right on your toe.
Ah, fuck! God.
Oh, be careful with that.
does it break?
Christ.
Yeah, now you're telling me. Thanks.
I didn't think.
Where were you?
What do you mean? Where was
We
I?
lost you.
I was here this entire
We
time.
lost you for a sec. No, we were rounding up the what are they called? Orbits.
Closets.
Closets.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Does it break when it falls?
Carlas, right? You've
double
seen
check.
Julia use these to. You've seen Julia, who is kind of your boss in a way, use crystal balls like these to keep an eye on like science experiments. When she like had multiple.
All right. I say something like, yeah, my boss used to use these to keep an eye on things. think they let you see
Well.
stuff.
I pick it up off of John's toes and I lift it into the air and I kind of twist it against the light and focus my key into it to see if I can see anything through it.
No.
Okay.
Well, it's shit right now.
Wait, let me see it again. And I rub it and see if a genie comes out.
Nope.
I toss it to
Fuck.
BB.
Buffet?
Bethe. I toss it to Bethe.
Okay. She's just holding.
You're the magical one. Go for it.
Well, I think we're all magical, but this isn't really.
Yeah,
my
I'm not gonna ask you guys to make another
wheelhouse.
Arcana check.
No, I'm
But
merely
like
saying
I said, they
if
can be
you
used for like multiple things.
you could use it as a medium for clairvoyance. Yes. If there's a demon nearby, you should be able to tell through that, right?
Oh, I can already tell when demons are nearby.
Oh, sick. Don't even need a ball.
I'll
Balls
take
help.
it with us. I'll take it with us.
Balls help?
Couldn't hurt.
All balls.
I mean,
All
unless
balls.
cause Carl here said that it might be keeping an eye on things, so I'm wondering if someone's watching this, then they obviously already know that we're here and where we are and all that, but would taking
Oh, then
it
we
with
should give
us
them a
be
show then. Keep
bad
it on
idea?
us.
Well, alright.
Do you think they can see us through that ball?
Well, they might be. I don't really
Oh.
know how to tell that
Huh.
sort of thing.
I spit on it. And I see if it flinches.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Buffet shakes
I don't
her
know,
head
trying whatever.
and wipes it off with her cloak.
Look, I have a very direct ways of like investigating.
All
stuff,
right,
you know?
then let's keep
I've
a
got
direct.
Very
real
physical.
way of approaching problems.
Then let's keep
Yeah,
a direct
yeah.
route on out of here to the next portion of this, right?
That's what I like to hear. Yeah, we're on the same
You guys have a
page.
location in mind that we need to be here, yes?
Buffet
Yeah, it's
points
the big
at
black
the tower.
thing.
Ah, the big black tower.
Yeah.
Well, I look around.
by
I
the
don't
way-
see any black towers.
So recently, the sun has come out, and in that time, your rash hasn't gotten any worse. So sunlight seems
That's
to
good.
have a bit of an effect on you,
Huh.
but it's been cloudy, just kind of like a constant overcast, a light snow.
Do I remember if the town ruins had any other sign of activity besides the closets? Like any people in person?
I think that is the only sign of activity that you found.
Alright.
That you found. Like,
Okay.
you could do another check, I guess, if you wanted to spend more time in the town. But Hadalex's tower is waiting.
Yeah, I think we ought to head to the tower now.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Fine by
Well,
me.
that's decided. Alright, let's make our way out. Make sure you got all your shit.
Yep.
I don't know if they can see us through their magic orbs, but I guess put a blanket over it or something.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I'll put it in my bag.
Oh, one
There you
memento.
go.
I step over to one of the decapitated closet heads, the one who threw their shit at me, and I fucking jam my
Yeah.
fingers into its head and I pull out its eyes.
Ugh.
Oh god.
Yeah,
What?
your fingers are super goopy now.
What
They're
is that
surprisingly
for?
clean.
Oh, is there like a nerve attached to the back, or are they just two balls?
Yeah, like they're goopy. They're organic eyeballs.
Are those like for a spell or something, or do you just like eyeballs?
Oh, they're for a spell, don't you worry.
Good. That's slightly more acceptable.
Yeah.
All right, so
Alright,
you guys make it
we
to
make our way.
Hadalax's tower. The door is thick, and the door is locked.
Oh no, a thick locked door.
I knock.
Thunk, thunk, thunk.
Well, this is a puzzle.
Wow. You really put all your thought into it, didn't you, big boy?
I know, and yet we're still locked out. Oh my god, this is. Should we go home?
Eventually, you hear like several locks undo themselves. It's kind of like this thick metal door. And then you hear a bar being raised. And the door opens, and you see this very tall, kind of towering over the rest of you, even your 6-foot plus members, a golden dragonborn with like these long kind of tendril-like mustaches, or mustache-like tendrils would be more accurate, and these bright blue eyes. It says, you must be here from the Crescentkeep Combine. Come in, keepers.
We are.
Oh.
My name is Buffet, and I introduce the rest of my party members.
And I am Auditor of the Esoteric Monks.
Come in. My name is Hadalax.
Welcome back to Azaray. We tried some new stuff this time around, I'm sure you've noticed. Let us know what you thought in the YouTube comments or on Twitter at Emberspire Radio. So Southside is going to continue a while, but I'll take this opportunity to announce our next campaign. It'll be a long campaign called Lonely Hearts. I won't spoil anything yet, but it will follow an eclectic quartet of young adventurers who get in way over their heads as they come of age. I hope you'll be as excited as we are. So, see you next time for more Dice at Dawn, South Side of the Sky.